welcome back to Legacy of Leaders, where we speak to the brightest and most interesting leaders in Jacksonville. I'm your host, Whitney Mincey. I'm joined by a very special co-host today, Mr. Adam Chaskin, the CEO of Jewish Community Alliance. And we also have two special guests with us today, Mr. David Thompson from Farah and Suzie Becker from Schmooze with Suze Podcast. Welcome, everyone.
Hi, good morning.
Good morning. And so I know you've got some great questions today, so I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, well, let's start off, David. Just tell us a little bit about what you're doing currently with your life. I know you and I met through Leadership Jacks, and you've had some changes, and let us know what you're doing now.
I'm currently one of the trial attorneys over at Farah, so I'm just helping the clients in Jacksonville, and then we also have the community service portion of what we do as well, so just helping the community any way we can.
It's wonderful. I know you're doing great work over there. And Suzie, I know we met actually through your husband, who was on the board of directors when I arrived at the Jewish Community Alliance, but you've got some great new projects you've been working on. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, I launched the Schmooze with Suze podcast. I'm now going into the third season, and this year we are launching the Teen Character Development Musar Initiative at the JCA.
Wow. Well, that leads right into my next question, and both of you, however you want to take it, is, you both do so much for the community in your different roles. Why? Why is that important to you guys?
For me, it starts with what my legacy was and what my legacy will continue to be. So I've spoken often about how philanthropy used to mean giving money, but I realize that it's more than that. Mm-hmm. It's about what my commitment is to the community that I'm choosing to raise my legacy, my children in. And I want them to see by example what that looks like, so that hopefully they will continue this trend that I learned from my parents.
Yeah. And I would just piggy tail on that. My parents, obviously, they taught us giving back at an early age, and then when we settled down here, both my parents were military Army, so we settled in Jacksonville. My whole family's here, and we're raising our kids here, so just to be able to give back to the community that I've lived in all these years, and then teach my kids also, like we go back and go to like soup kitchens and things like that to give back to the community and teach them the importance of giving back, to where when you have a little bit more than other people, you can always give back to your community.
Wonderful, wonderful. David, I know you're involved in so many different things in the law practice, and also, as you just said, the things you do in the community. How do you find time for other stuff? Like, when what do you have time, and what do you do to get away and just find family time?
It's a lot. To get away, we have to compartmentalize work and play. So I mean, I am involved in a lot of different boards and things of that nature, and when I'm there, I give it my all. But I have to make time for the family, and we do a lot of vacations and grilling and pool time. And I have to make sure that we have that special time with the kids as they're so young still, just growing up and be a big part of their lives.
Wonderful. And Suzie, obviously, your role, you don't necessarily go to an office every day, but you have many projects that you're involved in, but whether it's doing your podcast or some of the other projects that you just were talking about, and you've got young children. And so how do you balance it all?
The first thing is that I accept my poor Uber rating from my children. I will not share my charger and bring your own water bottle, so live with that. The second thing is that I got a pickup truck, and as soon as I got four-wheel drive, it afforded me the opportunity to go drive on beaches and work remotely because I want to love where I live.
Yes.
So that was the second part, and I take my kids with me. Just like you just said, David, I love that my kids come with me to the clothing closet and the food pantry so that they can see the different ways that we serve others.
That's
Terrific.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So I would love to know, I know, Suzie, we previously spoke about your passion for the Jewish Community Alliance, but tell us a little more about why you choose to support the organization.
So for my entire life, quite literally, I have been a member of a Y or a J, or in my case where I grew up, they were intermixed. What that means is that the sense of community, the purpose-driven work that people who didn't know me personally or my family personally were still willing to commit and give back to us so that we can continue to find our place wherever we live.
Yeah.
And so having the opportunity to do that with new members and expose them to the different things that make here home seems like a natural fit for my purpose-driven work.
Yeah. What about you, David? Why would participating in the initiatives with the JCA be important?
I think it's just a sense of community. They have so many community programs, and it's bigger than just them. They give it's for the entire community. So when I was a prosecutor, I met a really good friend who was part of the J, and she got us involved there, and then I helped out with some annual fundraisers, things there. And it's just a really good sense of community for the entire Jacksonville community. And they throw parties, they have community events. My daughter does the theater classes. They love it. So it's just a good way to meet people and just get a good sense of your community.
Excellent. Well, thank you both so much for being here. Unfortunately, we are out of time. Adam, thank you for co-hosting with me today. And we will see you next time on Legacy of Leaders. Make sure you go to iwannabuzz.com to learn more.